Before you ever think that an old coin is just a piece of metal, stop right there, because today you're about to discover the unimaginable truth. Coins that look ordinary, yet hide million-dollar fortunes within them. These Jefferson nickels could change your destiny overnight. What if I told you that a single 5-cent coin could make you a millionaire? Stay till the end, because this story will shock your soul. First up, the year that changed everything. 1943. The world was at war, metals were scarce, and America was fighting for survival. But deep inside that year's minting presses in Philadelphia, something extraordinary was born. The 1943 P. Jefferson Nickel. At first glance, it looks like any ordinary 5-cent coin. Dull silver color, a familiar face of Thomas Jefferson, and that classic Monticello building on the back. But what if I told you? This coin isn't just old, it's magical. Hidden in its metal is a story of wartime desperation, rare mistakes, and million-dollar surprises that could change your entire life if one ever lands in your hand. You see, in 1943, the U.S. Mint faced a massive crisis. Nickel was needed for weapons and tanks, not coins. So the Mint replaced it with a special blend of silver, manganese, and copper. But this sudden change brought unexpected miracles and shocking minting errors. Every single 1943 P. Jefferson Nickel tells a story of survival, and a few of them tell a story worth millions. Imagine this. You're holding what looks like a 5-cent coin. Maybe it's dusty, maybe it's sitting in an old drawer or your grandparents' jar. But under the right light, you notice something strange. The P, mint mark above Monticello. Something never seen before 1942, shining like a hidden signature of history. That single P could mean that what you're holding isn't just silver, it's treasure. Collectors today are in a frenzy searching for these coins. Not all 1943 nickels are rare, but a few varieties, the ones with perfect strikes, bold steps, or unique minting errors, have sold for staggering prices. In high-grade conditions, untouched and gleaming with wartime silver, these nickels have brought up to $15,000, even $40,000 at auction. And that's just for clean examples. But wait, there's more. Some of these 1943 nickels were struck on the wrong planchets. Instead of the wartime alloy, a few were accidentally minted on regular copper-nickel blanks or transitional errors. These freak mistakes are the holy grail of the Jefferson Nickel world. A single one of those has the power to shatter auction records and make a collector's dream come true overnight. In 2019, a pristine 1943 P. Jefferson Nickel graded MS-68 full step sold for an unbelievable price, pushing close to $20,000. And that was just a regular one. Imagine if you find one with a double die, off-center strike, or lamination error. Those can easily shoot beyond $100,000, depending on the condition. But sack up, here's where it gets even more emotional. These coins weren't just money. They were witnesses to one of humanity's darkest hours. Every single 1943 nickel minted carried a piece of America's fight for freedom. Soldiers held them in their pockets. Families used them for bread and milk. And decades later, those same small coins now carry stories, tears, and unimaginable worth. Just imagine the feeling. You go through your old coin jar, maybe one passed down by your grandfather. You see a 1943 nickel. You feel the weight. You notice the P above Monticello. Your heart starts to race. Could it be the one? Could this tiny piece of metal be your golden ticket? And then, as collectors say, the magic begins when you check its condition. If your coin still has sharp steps on Monticello, known as full steps, you could be holding a treasure worth tens of thousands. If it shines untouched by time, it could fetch a fortune. And if, by miracle, it's one of those transitional or double-die varieties, you're no longer just holding a nickel. You're holding history itself. Think about it. How many of these coins do you think still exist in perfect condition? Most were spent, worn down, or melted for their silver content long ago. But a few, just a few, survived untouched. Hidden away in jars, forgotten in boxes, waiting for you to find them. Coin dealers and auction houses across the U.S. have seen bidders fight fiercely over these pieces. Some people don't even care about the coin. They care about owning a slice of America's past. That's why these coins don't just sell for their metal value. They sell for their story. The emotional power of this coin is beyond imagination. It represents a time when America bent but didn't break. When ordinary people contributed every bit of metal for the war, and the mint improvised by using silver instead of nickel. That change, born out of desperation, ended up creating one of the most collectible nickels in history. So the next time you see a dull, silvery 5-cent coin from 1943, don't pass it by. Hold it close. Look at it under the light. Feel the history pulsing through it. Because maybe, just maybe, you're holding the coin that could rewrite your destiny. That's the beauty of coin collecting. It's not about the money. It's about discovery. It's about the thrill of realizing that something so small could carry such unimaginable power, financial, emotional, and historical. And remember, even though this coin says 5 cents, in the right hands, in the right condition, it could be worth more than your wildest dreams. It could be the key to your millionaire story. So keep your eyes open. Search every coin. Because the next time you come across a 1943 Jefferson Nickel, you might just be holding a coin that survived a war, witnessed history, and now holds the power to change your fortune overnight. Next up, a coin that carries not just metal, but emotion, not just value, but victory. The 1945 Jefferson Nickel, the final breath of the wartime silver nickels, a coin that marked the end of chaos and the dawn of hope. It's small, it's humble, but inside it lies a story that can shake your heart and, believe it or not, could make you a millionaire overnight. The year was 1945. The war was ending. The world was exhausted, broken, and healing. Yet deep within the U.S. Mint in San Francisco, one final batch of wartime nickels was being struck. Coins made not from ordinary nickel, but from a rare 35% silver alloy. And at that very moment, without anyone realizing it, a legend was born. The 1945 Jefferson Nickel is no ordinary coin. It's a farewell to an era. The S mint mark above Monticello doesn't just represent San Francisco. It represents survival, sacrifice, and the final chapter of America's wartime resilience. And today, collectors chase this coin like treasure hunters chasing gold, because hidden among the ordinary ones are those shockingly rare pieces worth unbelievable fortunes. Now, here's where it gets emotional and unimaginable. Some of these 1945 nickels, especially those struck perfectly with full steps, have fetched tens of thousands of dollars at auctions. Yes, we're talking about a 5-cent coin selling for the price of a luxury car. In mint state 68 condition, these coins have crossed $25,000 in open bidding wars. And for coins with unique minting errors, the value climbs even higher into the realm of the unbelievable. Collectors call it the final silver nickel, and that alone gives it historical weight. It's the coin that closed the chapter of America's silver wartime nickels forever. But what makes it truly breathtaking is how it symbolizes the nation's rebirth, from the ashes of war to the dreams of peace. Each one of these coins was born in a time when people were counting every cent to survive. And now, decades later, those same coins are changing lives. Just imagine, somewhere out there, maybe in an old drawer, an untouched 1945 nickel lies hidden. The owner has no idea what it's worth. Maybe it was kept by a soldier returning home from war, maybe by a mother who saved it as a memory of those dark days. That same coin, if preserved in beautiful condition, could now bring more than $50,000 in today's collector market. Think about the journey. A coin worth 5 cents in 1945 could now pay for a house, a car, or an entire new life. And if by miracle it's one of the few struck with an error, a double die, off-center, or wrong planchet strike, the value could explode beyond $100,000 or even more. But what makes this coin truly emotional is not just its value, it's its spirit. These were coins minted during a time when America poured every ounce of metal, sweat, and courage into the war. The silver in these coins was once part of the nation's reserves, melted, mixed, and minted to keep the economy alive. The mint mark isn't just a letter. It's a symbol of strength. When you hold a 1945 Jefferson Nickel, you're not just holding money. You're holding a piece of hope. The final echo of a generation that survived, rebuilt, and believed in a brighter future. That's what gives this coin its heartbeat. It's emotional power that collectors feel the moment they see it shine under the light. And then there's the chase. Oh, the chase. Coin hunters around the world are still searching for that perfect piece. The one with crystal clear steps on Monticello, sharp lines, untouched luster. Because those are the ones that bring life-changing prices. One such coin, graded by PCGS as MS68 with full steps, shocked the numismatic world when it sold for nearly $30,000, a number that keeps rising as the years go by. Now here's the part that hits hardest. Many of these coins have already been lost to time, melted for their silver, corroded, spent, forgotten. Each year that passes, fewer perfect examples survive. That's why every 1945 nickel found in pristine condition today is a miracle, a survivor against the odds. Close your eyes and imagine the moment. You're sorting through an old box of coins that belonged to your grandparents. Dusty, faded, forgotten. And then it glints under the light. A 1945. You wipe the surface and your heart starts pounding. Could this be the one? Could you be holding the last breath of the wartime nickels? The one that could make your life completely different? This isn't just about luck. It's about history choosing you. About the universe handing you something extraordinary when you least expect it. Because coins like this aren't just collected, they're discovered. They find their way into the hands of people who believe in stories, in miracles, in destiny. So if you ever come across one, don't let it slip away. Get it checked, protect it, because what you hold might just be $1 million miracle disguised as a nickel. The 1945 Jefferson Nickel is more than a coin. It's a time capsule, a silent witness of America's strength, and possibly your ticket to unimaginable fortune. One coin, one symbol, one destiny, the end of the silver nickel era, and maybe the beginning of your new life. Next up, the year that seemed ordinary but hid something extraordinary. 1964, a year when America was full of hope, change, and the spirit of a new generation. Yet, deep within the U.S. Mint, something truly unexpected was happening. A storm in the world of coins that would make one simple nickel, the 1964 Jefferson Nickel, a treasure worth unimaginable amounts today. People once spent this coin without a second thought. They used it for a cup of coffee, a loaf of bread, or a morning newspaper. But what if I told you that same 5-cent coin sitting somewhere in your house could be worth thousands, even millions today? What if you realized that one coin, one ordinary-looking Jefferson Nickel, could rewrite your destiny overnight? Yes, the 1964 Jefferson Nickel is not just another coin. It's a masterpiece born out of confusion, transition, and history itself. It was the last year the U.S. Mint struck nickels with the date 1964 before the coinage crisis of the mid-60s. And because of that, something shocking happened. Over 1 billion nickels were struck, but hidden among them are those few, unbelievably rare errors and special proofs that have made collectors' jaws drop for decades. During 1964, the mint was under intense pressure. Silver prices were soaring, coins were disappearing from circulation, and the public was hoarding every bit of change they could find. To fight this shortage, the mint produced massive quantities of coins. But that rush led to astonishing mistakes. And that's where the magic lies. Among those billions of coins, a few 1964 Jefferson nickels were struck on the wrong planchets, or double-die errors appeared where Jefferson's face or Monticello's lines were duplicated slightly, and those microscopic differences turned common nickels into jaw-dropping treasures. One 1964 nickel struck on a silver planchet. Yes, a nickel made of silver, sold at auction for over $10,000. And others, with perfect full steps and flawless luster, have reached $15,000 to $25,000. But the real legends are the ultra-rare 1964 Special Strike, SMS, nickels, mysterious coins never meant for public release, believed to have been secretly struck as prototypes or presentation pieces. Only a handful of those exist, and when one surfaces, the world goes silent. One of them, graded SP68 by Peace GS, shattered expectations when it sold for $32,900. Imagine that, a nickel worth the price of a luxury car. But it doesn't stop there. Experts believe there may still be a few hidden away, unknown to the world, waiting to be discovered in someone's collection, drawer, or old roll of coins. But what makes this coin even more emotional is its symbolism. 1964 was a year of endings and beginnings, the final breath of traditional coinage before major changes hit U.S. currency. The design of Jefferson's calm, determined face, and Monticello's graceful architecture stands as a monument to American stability. But the rare variations of that same coin tell a deeper story of transition, mistakes, and unexpected miracles. Every collector knows the feeling, holding a 1964 Jefferson Nickel under the light, examining the steps on Monticello, checking for doubling, mint marks, and small imperfections. That heart-pounding moment when you realize this isn't just any coin. This could be the one. Imagine this. You're flipping through a handful of old coins your grandfather saved, maybe coins from the 60s that no one ever cared about. You spot a 1964 nickel. You turn around, the steps on Monticello gleam sharply. You feel something. You look closer and realize this could be a full steps MS 67 or even a special strike. And just like that, your life changes. The stories are real. Collectors finding life-changing coins in pocket change, old coffee cans, and inherited jars. Coins sold for tens of thousands that once bought nothing more than a snack. That's the unbelievable beauty of the 1964 Jefferson Nickel. It hides in plain sight. But here's where it gets shocking. After 1964, the mint stopped putting mint marks on nickels for years, trying to discourage hoarding. That makes the 1964 nickels with their D and P mint marks historically powerful, the last of their kind before the silence. And because of that, they carry both emotional and monetary value that's hard to measure. The 1964 nickel represents more than money. It represents a change in America's spirit. It's a memory frozen in metal, of a time when things were simpler, but destiny was quietly being written in every coin that rolled off the presses. So when you hold a 1964 Jefferson Nickel, don't see it as just old money. See it as a mystery, because hidden within its shine might be an error, a mark, or a proof strike so rare that it could make you a millionaire overnight. In perfect conditions, these nickels, especially those with deep mirror surfaces or special striking details, are among the most desirable Jefferson nickels ever minted. Their prices continue to rise as more collectors realize just how few perfect examples remain. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine the story. A coin struck in haste during a national coin crisis, forgotten for decades, now rediscovered and worth a fortune. That's not fantasy. It's reality for the few lucky enough to find one. It's almost poetic. A coin once made to help America through shortage, now bringing abundance to those who believe in miracles. The 1964 Jefferson Nickel is a reminder that sometimes the ordinary hides the extraordinary. And maybe, just maybe, the coin sitting quietly in your drawer right now could be worth more than you ever dare to dream. So check every coin. Look at every nickel. Because in this world of hidden wealth and untold stories, one simple piece of metal could be your unimaginable miracle. Next up, a year of change, confusion, and hidden miracles, 1965. The year the U.S. Mint turned the page of history and, unknowingly, created one of the most mysterious and emotionally powerful coins in American numismatics, the 1965 Jefferson Nickel. At first glance, it looks like every other nickel you've seen. Jefferson's calm face, Monticello standing proudly on the back, that familiar silvery gray color. But look closer, because this coin hides secrets that even experts didn't fully understand for years. Secrets that could transform a small 5-cent piece into something beyond belief. In 1965, America was in a currency crisis. Silver was vanishing from circulation. People were hoarding coins like treasure, afraid the metal inside them was worth more than the face value stamped on the front. The U.S. Mint was desperate to solve the problem. So, starting that year, they made a bold move. They removed mint marks from all coins. No P, no D, no S. Every coin looked the same, no matter where it was made. And that one decision created decades of mystery. The 1965 Jefferson Nickel became a ghost, a coin with no identity, no mint mark, and no easy way to know where it came from. But among the billions struck that year, a few were different. A few were special. A few carried mistakes, misstrikes, and hidden characteristics that made them worth tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars today. Let's uncover the shock first. 1965 nickel struck on silver planchets. Wait, silver? Yes, because during the transition from 90% silver coins to the new copper-nickel-clad ones, a few leftover silver planchets, blanks meant for earlier coins, accidentally slipped into the presses. And when those silver blanks were struck with Jefferson's design, a legend was born. Today, those error nickels, 1965 nickels struck on silver, are among the most jaw-dropping finds in U.S. coin history. Their value? Easily over $10,000 to $20,000, sometimes much more if in mint condition. Imagine holding a coin that looks ordinary but tests positive for silver, a 5-cent piece that could buy you a car or pay your bills for months. But that's just the beginning. So 1965 nickels were struck multiple times, double strikes, offsetter strikes, and die breaks that give them unique, one-of-a-kind appearances. Each of these errors turns a common coin into a numismatic miracle. One particularly rare 1965 Jefferson nickel, perfectly preserved in MS-67 full steps condition, sold for over $10,000 at auction. Why? Because full steps means Monticello's stairs on the reverse are completely visible, something incredibly rare, as most nickels from that era were weakly struck. Finding one in perfect condition is like finding a diamond in the dust. And then there's the legend of the special mint set, SMS 1965 nickels. When a mint canceled regular proof sets that year, they secretly released these SMS coins, specially made with a satin-like finish, mirror-like surfaces, and crisp details. They weren't meant for the public, but somehow some escaped. And when collectors found them, the world gasped. These 1965 SMS Jefferson nickels are breathtaking, sharper, shinier, and far more detailed than regular circulation coins. Some are so flawless they look like they were made yesterday. And their values have skyrocketed, with top-graded examples fetching $5,000, $10,000, even $15,000 at major auctions. But the real emotional punch? These coins mark the end of an era. After 1965, the mint officially shifted away from silver in circulating coins. This nickel stands as a symbol of change, the moment America said goodbye to silver currency forever. It's more than metal. It's history frozen in your palm. Imagine finding one today. You're going through an old coffee tin or your grandfather's coin box. You see a nickel dated 1965. You almost ignore it because it looks ordinary, but something makes you stop. You feel its weight, its shine, its texture. You check closely. Could this be the one? Could it be an SMS nickel or one of those rare silver-struck errors? That's when your pulse quickens, because if it is, your life just changed. That's the unbelievable beauty of coins like this. They hide right in front of our eyes. Millions of people have handled them, spent them, lost them, never realizing what they were touching. Yet a lucky few who looked deeper, who noticed the tiny details others ignored, walked away with fortunes. And the stories are real. Collectors who bought rolls of 1,965 nickels decades ago just to complete their sets, later discovering a rare SMS or silver strike, coins they sold for thousands. These nickels have transformed ordinary people into accidental millionaires. Think about that for a moment. A 5-cent coin that once bought a candy bar, now capable of changing a life. That's not imagination. That's history meeting destiny. The 1965 Jefferson Nickel isn't flashy. It doesn't have a mint mark. but it carries something far greater: mystery, rarity, and emotional power. It's a silent reminder that sometimes the things we overlook are the ones with the most value. So before you ever dismiss a nickel again, especially one from 1965, take a closer look. Examine the steps on Monticello. Feel the shine, the detail, because hidden in that simple coin might be the key to unimaginable wealth. Coins like this prove that life has a funny way of surprising us, turning something forgotten and ordinary into something priceless. The 1965 Jefferson Nickel stands as a quiet legend, born from a year of chaos, carrying secrets of transition and offering the chance of a lifetime to those who believe in miracles. So, the next time you hear that small clink of change in your pocket, listen closely, because one of those sounds might just be your $1 million moment waiting to be discovered.